It's me, Elijah EliWise's, otherwise known as EliWise. And here we have my good friend
Louise. My name is Louise. Don't say anything else, please.
Louise. Today we are doing the first EliWise's Horrors book review. And where to start than the America's favorite serial killer, Dexter Morgan. So the first, we're specifically reviewing the book, the first one, known as Darkly Dreaming Dexter.
Morgan.
It's a little presentation that you're observing on the screen right now. It's pretty cool if I do say so myself. And
It's not bad. I'm just kidding.
Well, let's get into it, lads.
Yes, ma'am.
So first we're going to do a quick summary of the story. This is a mostly spoiler-free review. There's like maybe some minor spoilers, but no big name reveals, no twists, none of that. So I spelled Mima, I forgot to fix that.
Oh yeah, Dexter is a Mima Metro blood splatter analyst.
Spattered. Dexter Morgan is a Miami Metro blood spatter analyst who lives a double life as a serial killer. But, and this is like the unique point of the story, he makes you root for him because he follows a strict code passed down by his foster father, Harry, that guides him to only target killers. Don't make weird sounds into the microphone. He lives a normal life with his girlfriend, Rita. If you watch the show, you know most of this already. When bodies start popping up that perfectly match his own kill ritual. That being, like the chopped up limbs and stuff. Well, so he starts hunting this killer, who he realizes this killer is also stalking him. 5%, that's fine, don't even worry about it. While the police also try to find him. Eventually, he discovers the killer's identity, and they have a final confrontation. But, unlike the show version, the confrontation is with Maria LaGuerta. She's also involved there.
LaGuerta.
So first, we're going to ask some main points. We're gonna address like the main core questions of the story. The first one: how is the main character and how is his psychology? The main character is very sick, but in a way that most people would find almost justifiable. He has a tragic backstory. He has a specific motive, right? Like something he can't control, like almost like an addiction to killing, or what he calls his dark passenger. And because he follows his code, he doesn't kill bad people. He kills people that most normal human beings won't really mind not being in the world anymore, if that makes sense. So that's like a really, really unique aspect. What do you say?
Bum.
So how's the tone? The tone is very dark. There's a lot of dark humor. There's a lot of just things that you would never hear a normal human being say. So I think the tone's pretty good. The concept of the serial killer who kills bad people, but not because he is necessarily a good person, but almost purely because he follows this code and he's kind of just used to it, so just kind of grew into it almost. But his urge to kill is not focused on bad people. That is an active choice to focus his urge to kill on bad people specifically. The story, this is like the investigation, is pretty cool actually. I think the best part of it is like the discovery at the end. There is a twist. If you haven't read it, I'm not going to say what it is. But like overall, most of the investigation stuff is okay, but it could be better. And the most unique aspect is, of course, the character of Dexter. I've yet to see a main character quite like Dexter. He's very unique in that way. So here we're going to get into what works and what doesn't. And this is my personal opinion. I'm going to refer to the villain as the Ice Truck Killer, which is what he's called on this first season of the show. I'm not going to call him by his actual name because it is a twist. But his name, we're going to start with what works. Dexter as a character works perfectly, if you ask me. The Ice Truck Killer as a character also works perfectly, if you ask me.
Very graceful.
The code that is like the main driving factor that causes Dexter to, instead of just lashing out and unleashing his urge to kill anybody, to focus it on specifically bad people, that's a key point of the whole story and also the whole backstory, and that works amazingly. The general story is okay, it could be better. Dexter's psychology, as in the dark passenger, how he has this urge to kill but makes the active choice to focus it, which is something that obviously serial killers don't do. Not that vigilantes haven't existed, it's just most of the time you hear murderer, you don't think he only murders bad people. And then the parallel between the Ice Truck Killer and Dexter. What is the parallel? I don't want to get into too much detail and spoil it, but the parallel is that the Ice Truck Killer kind of represents what Dexter would be if he didn't have the coat of hair. And that part is really cool. What do I think it could use a lot more of? We're going to go into what doesn't work. Is it has a lot of lack of depth with side characters. So think side characters like La Guerta, Angel Batista, Masuka. There isn't a lot of depth with them in the books. They're present, but you don't meet them as much. You don't worry about them. They don't have their own plots or subplots, even remotely. At least not in the first 4 or 5 books that I've read. And if you're coming from the show, that can be quite disappointing if you're hoping to get more of some of the fan favorites. The ending is rushed. The ending was good, but it was rushed, and I think that damages it a lot because the entire last act, reveal, final fight, whatever, all happens in one chapter. There is no pacing. It's just story, and in one chapter just rushes through the whole ending. And I think that also contributes to the next point, which is that the action is a little lackluster. It's kind of boring. At the end, it was tense. It was intense. There was tension, but it was so fast that you didn't really have time to fully immerse yourself. Because even though I was reading it and I could feel the tension, it was just really quick, and I wish we got more of that. The Ice Truck Killer does not appear as much. It's not really a murder mystery as it is in like the show, for example, because you don't know who it is. There's very little. Like the twist is good. There's very little reveal. There's very little teasing. Very little foreshadowing. At the same time, there isn't enough time on the actual kills from Dexter's part. Like there's some, more than some of the later books, it starts off with a kill, but it kind of ends there. So that's what I think works, doesn't work, kind of like my pros and cons of it. Now, even with that being said, would I recommend the book? Yes. I think it's pretty fire. What do you think of the first season of the show? Well, this is pretty much what happens. But
First season of show.
yeah.
I like it.
That's it? Okay.
But Suka is the best character of the entire show.
That's fair. That's another thing. He's not in the book as much, and I think that's one of the things that damages it, especially if you're coming from the show.
His humor is peak.
Which I think most people are. Would I recommend it? Yes. Is it perfect? I think the show is better, but it did a great job, like I wrote here. Jeff Lindsay did a great job at what he set out to do with the novel, which was make a thriller that centers around questioning if people are really willing to apply morality to everybody equally. that's kind of the question of the show is, if you, not would you kill someone, but more like if you knew about this serial killer who was killing bad people, would you turn him in? Like, would you know? And it's a very controversial question, but that's what it gets at. And it works. It does that perfectly. And I think that a lot of people are going to have very different opinions. Some people say law is law, illegal is illegal, and that's fine. But other people would say, I mean, if you're an evil person, if somebody gets rid of you, I wouldn't feel bad. I'm not saying what's valid and what isn't. I'm just saying that it does a good job at sparking that debate, of sparking that question, of sparking that curiosity of, well, what would I do in that situation? And it also does a very good job of showing the parallel of Dexter, the Ice Truck Killer, who's basically Dexter out there. So if you're into psychological thrillers, you'd like Darkly Dreaming Dexter. That's the way I see it. So here's my final rating. Would you like to read? I'll give you a...
Okay. Story. What's that? 4.5 stars.
4 out of 5.
Oh yeah.
4 out of 5 stars. Top ladder, sir.
Action.
2 out of 5 stars.
2 out of 5. Like a narrator. Ending. 3 out of 5 stars. Characters. He puts at 2 out of 5 stars. Main character. 5 stars because he's in Dexter Glazer.
Oh my.
Tension. 3 out of 5 stars. Villain. 5 stars because he's awesome.
An overall final rating, that is 3.5.
Yeah.
Read it.
What is it?
Read it.
I thought you just said it.
I was telling you that is 3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
3.5
3.5.
out of 5 stars.
Mm.
No.
Of course you put main character and villain at 5 stars.
Because the villain is cool and Dexter is like the best main character, dude. I'm telling you.
You are a Glazer.
I'm not. It's like my favorite show. Leave me alone. I bought all the books. Now, Darkly Dreaming Dexter doesn't provide a better take on the action, kills, or story of the show's first season, but it provides a wonderful insight into the mind of Dexter Morgan, dubbed America's favorite serial killer. That really was a thing. I'm not joking. It is the story that inspired the series. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this one and the next one are widely considered to be the best novels in the Dexter series. So, Jeff Lindsay deserves credit for developing Dexter and establishing his psychology, which is great. The best part of the story is Dexter himself, his backstory, and of course, his counterpart. I'm not going to get into spoilers if nobody wants to know who the killer is. And if you ask me, I have not seen a character quite like Dexter ever be replicated to the same energy, the same just general coolness of such a powerful degree since. For that, I do personally love the novel, despite its flaws, and would absolutely recommend it if you haven't read it yet, or if you haven't watched the show. So this has been my review, EliWise's review on Darkly Dreaming Dexter. Say ciao ciao.
Bye. Goodbye, guys.
See ya. Have a good one.